Fabi, the Sinquefield Cup is over. This is recorded after the last game, the one that finished between Hans and Nipo. You took fourth place, shared with Wesley. How do you feel about the tournament?
Well, the question is, how do I feel about my tournament compared to the tournament? Because my tournament was pretty unspectacular, but the tournament itself was very spectacular. And I think the most interesting thing about it is that the players who made the most waves in the tournament aren't the players who finished in first place, tied. And we'll see tomorrow who becomes the winner of the tournament, because they'll play a playoff, Ali Reza and Enian. But the tournament was defined by Magnus's dropping out and everything that came with that. It affected everyone's tournament most positively. Jan, his loss was erased, and that gave him a lot of momentum. And I was even expecting him to just win the whole thing outright today, because he had a huge advantage against Hans, and it was clear already from the last few days that Hans was under some pressure. It showed in his play, so I thought that Jan would capitalize on that. But Hans pulled it together and defended. So we'll see probably what will be a very interesting playoff and unpredictable playoff. But yeah, the tournament was super interesting. I think everyone has their own story in it. All of the players have a different story and will have a different.
What was the biggest moment of the tournament? Was that the game that we have right now?
Yeah,
in front of us?
It's the position on the board, the final position of Magnus with white against Hans Niemann, where Hans won with black. And the rest is history. Everyone knows what happened after that. Magnus withdrew from the tournament the next game. His results were annulled because he only played 3 games. He didn't go through half the tournament. And the tournament also, the rest of it was under this cloud of why did Magnus withdraw? A lot of speculations, and which kind of became a scandal, because it's unprecedented that the world champion, or in fact anyone from a top level, withdraws mid-tournament and doesn't give a clear reason, especially. We've seen things like health reasons, but we know that's not the reason why. Magnus didn't specify, but we do have some theories about this that have gone around. And yeah.
Do you abide by any of the theories? What is your take on that overall?
Well, I mean, obviously the biggest theory is that he left because he was worried that Hans has cheated in this event or in the past. Of course, we can't say for sure if that's what he meant, but this is the most popular theory that's gone around, and I don't think
that's looking like the insinuation.
That seems to be, at least if that's not the case, he hasn't cleared up that it isn't the case, right? I don't think that Hans cheated in this tournament. I feel very strongly that he didn't, but a lot of revelations came out, and he himself said that in the past he was involved in some online cheating stuff. This is, again, from his own interview that he gave, a very emotional and by now very famous interview that he gave. But that's apart from the tournament. That has nothing to do with the results of the tournament. That's just what happened in the aftermath of Magnus withdrawing.
Did you feel affected by that episode in any way?
Well, my first emotional reaction was a lot of sympathy for Hans, because I mean, any sort of,
especially after his interview.
Yeah, right? His interview was seemed to be extremely heartfelt and convincing, and there's 2 sides of this. I think one is that the cheating is such a huge problem in chess, and we have to recognize that. The other thing is that accusations, whether they're true or not, carry a huge amount of weight, and especially when it comes from someone who has a lot of influence in the chess world. Okay, in this case, it's very complicated because there is a history behind that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which we know about. So it's not like these accusations came completely out of nowhere, but that they came in the middle of a tournament is something else.
It's interesting that Magnus. Do you think he knew about the accusations before? Because this was not public. the fact that Hans cheated on chess.com was not public. Now, there's ways in which you can probably infer from him using different accounts after his Twitch, let's say, ban, right, which was actually caught live. But do you think Magnus knew about his cheating accusations and
Well,
past?
I know he knew. I mean,
He knew, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like, you hear things, and it is a small world, and things do get said and passed around. And the other thing is that, like, every strong player knows what a huge issue this is in online chess, because it's so difficult to protect against, and there used to not be so much incentive because there wasn't so much money involved, but now you have qualifications.
You probably have more money than in real life chess, over the board chess nowadays.
It's at least very similar.
Very similar, yeah.